Hi everyone, I'm Paul, and today I'm going to give you some tips for writing task 1 in the IELTS test. I have over 10 years helping students prepare for the IELTS test, and today's tips are going to be based on some of the general problems that they have had. So let's take a closer look at academic writing task 1. I'll pull it up on the screen. Here, this is an example question from a practice test. So what do we know about academic writing task 1? Well, basically we have to describe some kind of visual information, and we have about 20 minutes to do it. And a lot of students find it difficult because there's a lot of information to describe, as you can see here, and there's only 20 minutes to write your answer. So my first tip today is it's really important that you plan before writing. Students often rush into writing the answer for this, and they're because they're not planning, their answers become very disorganized and difficult to understand. So at the beginning of task 1, it's important to stop and just spend some time preparing before you start writing. So first, read the question carefully and look carefully at the visual information you have, and think about the main points or features that you want to describe in your answer. In this case, we're describing the data in a graph, but this could be something else. This could be a chart, a diagram, or even some kind of process. My next tip is that we only have 20 minutes, so it's really important to manage your time carefully. Now, I would recommend spending about 3 minutes planning before writing, then say about 15 minutes writing. And it's also important to save a few minutes at the end, just so you can quickly check your answer for any basic grammatical mistakes. Remember, we really don't want to go over the 20 minutes for task 1. If we do, that means we have less time for task 2. And remember that task 2 is double the score of task 1. So here's, I'm just going to reduce my screen a little bit here. This is an example. This is my answer to the practice question in the previous slide. Now, my first tip with answering is it's a good idea to use paragraphing to organize your answer. This just means putting this sort of a blank line between each of your sort of idea paragraphs there. This helps with the organization. It's also important to use some summary language in your answer. The summary language just gives the main idea or overview of the main points that you have chosen to talk about. Now, I've included my summary here after my introduction, but you could also include your summary at the end of your writing. It's also a really good idea to use signposting and linking language. This helps the reader to understand the connection between your ideas and also improves the overall organization of your writing. In IELTS language, we call this cohesion and coherence. In your details paragraphs, it's also important to give specific data or information from the visual information you are given. In this case, I was given a graph, so I've quoted some numbers or values from the graph in my answer. Some students make the mistake of also trying to explain or interpret the information given, but be careful not to do this. This will be considered going off task, and it will reduce or lower your final writing score. Finally, it's important that the length of your answer isn't too short. So you need to write around 150 words for task 1. If your answer is shorter than this, you will likely get a penalty, once again, reducing your final score. So what can we do to practice for task 1? Well, it's really important to be doing realistic practice tests, and also at the same time using the same time limits as the actual test. This will give us practice answering different types of task 1 questions, and the time pressure will also help us obviously get used to writing under pressure, and also give us an idea of how much or how long we need our answers to be. My second advice for preparing is it's really important to get feedback on your writing. So today I have talked about general problems that I've experienced with students in their writing for task 1. But different students will answer task 1 in different ways, and different students will obviously have different problems with their writing. So it's really important to get detailed feedback about your writing weak points. Maybe you can get this from your teacher, or maybe you can get this from someone who has taken the IELTS test and gotten a high band score. I also run IELTS preparation Zoom classes through my paulmaka.com website. These are one-on-one live online courses where I give students specific feedback and advice on their IELTS writing. I also give them specific feedback and advice on their speaking practice, and also problems that they're having with the IELTS listening and reading test. For more information on my course, here's the link. You can also click on the link above the comments below. For more information on language learning or free tips on IELTS or any other thing related to languages, feel free to check out my website, paulmaka.com. Hopefully in my next 10-minute tip, I'll find some time to give you some advice and tips for IELTS academic writing task 2. Good luck with your study. Bye.